All right, we're live. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, one God, amen. Actually, sorry, we're in Coptic. Thank you everyone for joining today. I want to do a quick, just a few things to mention briefly before we start, and then we're gonna jump ahead and do the assignment, do the homework, and if you can do it, don't worry, we'll talk about it later. So let me share my screen. So I want to make sure. Wait. This is the course syllabus. So just before we start, I want to remind you all that we have a course syllabus. If you haven't had a chance to see it, I think most of you probably would, because when I post about it everywhere, it has a lot of things like our time, the Google Meet link. If it ever changes, that's going to be your source of truth at all times. Suggestion box. I'll talk more about it, and a lot of material here. The book is here. If you don't have it, it's under required material. Just download the PDF. We do not have a group chat on WhatsApp or on Facebook or anything. We do have the Reddit. Oh, sorry, we do have the Discord channel. There's a Bohairic channel in it. I will show it to you. And then Reddit has a bunch of active people. And finally, the YouTube channel that has everything that we do, and I'll show it to you. Dictionaries. Probably having at least one of them is good when you solve your homeworks, so you don't have to go through the book and find the word that you want to look for. And then more reading practice and apps. And here we mention what we talked about in class, in case you want to go back and review it for any reason. Quickly about Discord. There's a Discord channel mainly for ancient Egyptian languages. I'm saying languages because, very ancient Egyptian and Coptic are slightly a little bit different, as, we have the most recorded language in history. It's just too long. That language has evolved for sure. There's a channel for us under study groups. It's open. It's called Bohairic Coptic. That's where you can ask questions specific about Bohairic or talk about anything that has to do with the class. Sorry, you probably can't see it. This is it. It's on Discord, and there's one specifically for us. Anything about the class, we'll go through here. The second thing I'm gonna mention is there's the playlist in Coptic Made Easy. This is where we post all of our classes. So if you can't make it for any reason, or want to review anything, which is sometimes do, is like I forgot how to do something and I watch a video quickly, I'm gonna actually make sure the names are descriptive enough that you can quickly find what you look for. Last but not least, there is a suggestion box. Please use it as much as you can or as many times as you want. I do read them. So we actually got a request one time when making sure it's full screen. So I'll make sure I'll work on this. So let me know. And of course, if you have any question anytime, please just let me know right away. So that's it for the class. Any questions about the class or the course? All right. Thanks for the thumbs up. Let's get to the book. So if you have the PDF, but I'm going to also share on the screen, go to page 115. And let me share. So the way we're going to do it, we're going to go in order. Everyone will participate. I'll ask everyone to participate. Try your best to answer it. If you can't answer it, even if you're not confident in your answer, just try. It will give us something to talk about. If you don't want to, that's fine. I'll probably just mention everyone's name, then count till 5. And if you can't make it, don't worry about it. It's very optional, but I would love for everyone to participate, just for you to practice what we just learned. And even if you get it wrong, probably other people would, and then also give us a chance to participate, to discuss more. Because the way we do it is we briefly go through the lesson, but then we spend the bulk of our time on the homework. So just a reminder of what we did last time. We did the prepositions and mainly the definite articles. A quick reminder on how definite articles work in Coptic. Let's get what color. Let's do this. We have masculine. So remember that Coptic is a gender language. Masculine is basically based on the P sound, like the English P sound, so it gives us P. It gives us ep. Those are definite articles, or F. And remember that F is equal to a PH. Oh, that's outside, sorry. And remember that F is equal to PH. So it's an aspirated P, like we talked last time. You remember feminine is based on the T sound. So very analogous to this, it gives us the T, which is, if you remember, it was like tau plus iota. That's just the Coptic sound for it. Or an et. Or an et, or also an eth. And remember that theta, sorry, that's not a theta, other way. Remember that theta is basically a th. Or if talk about last time, also a t, an aspirated h. So it can be like just an aspirated way of saying the t, which is a sound that I cannot really make. But a th sounds fine. So remember, masculine based on the p, feminine is based on the t, and finally we have the plural is based on the n sound, which is, you're going to see this everywhere once we start doing more articles and pronouns. Lucky for us, in Coptic, it's just an e. That's all of these, keep in mind, all of these means the. You are lucky if you know French, because then masculine will be le, feminine will be la, and this will be le. What is happening? Sorry, I don't know what happened. And this will be la, this will be le. All right, this is a quick review of what we did last week for the pronouns, for the definite articles. I hope we did the vocab. If not, we can help each other with the vocab. And let's start with, I'm going to split it between all of us, and just do as much as you can. Try as best as you can. If you can, don't worry about it. We do have 13 questions. 13? What kind of math is this? We have 17 plus 13, that's 30, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 over 30 is 28. Each of us can do 4, just 4 at a time. Again, if you can do it, no pressure, don't worry about it. But even if you don't know the answer, just try your best. I see new people joining in. If you want to introduce yourself, you can type it in the chat, but completely optional. All right, first on my list is David. Do you want to try out the first 4, one by one? Say it in, basically read it in Coptic and translate to English. And if anyone has any question at any point, just go ahead and ask or raise your hand, and I'll tell you to talk. So if you have any question anytime, please ask.
Yeah, I can do it.
And anyone at any point want to turn on their camera, so I'm not looking at myself, also perfectly fine and recommend it. Okay, go ahead.
He pimoit, which preposition he means on. He is the weak definite article of the. Moit is path or road, so on the road.
Okay, awesome. How do you spell the first letter?
I aspirate my P's.
Okay, aspirate your P's. Okay, so be up. Okay. Or for people doing it otherwise, it's just like a PH. So for most people, it's like but yes,
Or
it's
F in the ecclesiastic pronunciation.
Yes.
I should clarify. I tried to do the most of the was it secular or
The academic pronunciation.
The academic pronunciation.
Yes. Also my favorite, but yes, this is a quick reminder for everyone. We discussed there is the multiple pronunciations, how to pronounce Coptic. I'll probably make a video explaining more about it. There's a church way, which is called the Greco-Coptic way, and then there's the academic way. The only difference in a few letters. The Fey sound is one of them, where we pronounce it as the PH is pronounced as an F. For some people, it's an aspirated P, which is probably closer to the right, because it does make sense when you look at the grammar. All right, can you do the next one?
Yep. He peto, which is the preposition he on. Ep is the other way to write the weak definite article, and then to'u is mountain. There we go.
Yes, mountain. Good job. Right. Do one more.
All right. Chenpimoit, Ⲩ is the preposition in, and same thing as the pemoids and hepemoids is the path, so in the path.
Okay. Feminine or masculine?
Masculine.
Amazing. All right, last one.
And then Ⲩ Ⲩ again means in. Pe or ep is the weak definite article. Then a is house or home. So in the
Okay.
home.
Awesome. If any of you know French at any time, if you want to go for le, la, le, that would also be great. Makes the distinction between the gender easy. All right. Next one we have Fedi. Do you want to try?
I'd rather skip for this week just to until I familiarize myself with this.
Do you want to try reading and then we can do it one by one?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Is it number 5, I presume? Is that the,
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe it's a he.
Okay, so first one is A. A means two.
Okay.
And then can you guess the meaning of ep?
Oh, I no. Sorry.
So ep, like we mentioned, is when you see anything with a P, it's masculine. And we're looking at definite articles. So this is the definite article for masculine. There will be ep. It means the for masculine.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do this is masculine, singular as well. And then can you read the next word?
No.
If you want to do it churchy way, it would be like a long E, so E, and then the iota would become like a Y, so it'd be E.
Okay.
And it means, can you guess what it means?
No.
Okay. It means house or home.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to try the next one?
No, I think I'd have to go over the letters because this is all new to me, so I wouldn't be able to even venture, I guess, at this point.
Okay, no worries, no problem. All right, next one we have is Joseph, and we can talk. I'll give you this. Can you talk?
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, sorry, you can't talk last week. Okay, great. Sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So number 6.
Yes.
He iponi.
Perfect. Tell me what it means.
On the rock.
Okay, perfect. On the rock. When anyone does the articles, just tell me if it's masculine or feminine, and singular or plural.
Okay, so masculine, singular.
Perfect. Awesome. Can you do number 7?
Nem thromi.
Mm-hmm.
And the man, masculine, singular.
Perfect. Thank you. One more.
Nem tishimi.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman, feminine, singular.
Perfect. Give me one more.
He ibgom.
Mm-hmm.
On the book.
On the book. Great.
Singular and masculine.
Perfect. Ideally, if possible, doesn't ruin the hymn so much, we'll go with Jom. Very optional, but I highly recommend it. Once you do in grammar, you see that it makes a lot more sense because it's the same sound, but when you change the vowels for a different construction, it has to maintain the same sound. And coming from the hieroglyphs that we see how the letters evolve, it's always a j sound. Just FYI, it will help. It will be less confusing once you look at grammar in the future. That it's always a j sound. And if you say as you're singing hymns, it actually doesn't ruin the hymns, unlike other sounds. But yeah, it will be better, if possible. Completely up to you. Our focus here is mostly on grammar. All right, next on our list is Marina. Hi, Marina.
Hi. I did not know about the vocabulary, but I'll try just my best. Chen ni.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? And then that would be in, I don't know, in the path, not the, that's, or ni is the actually, but it's plural, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. In the path?
E is, E inteni angelos. The house. E is
Oh,
house.
house. Sorry. Thank you.
That's when we say hail to the house of the angel. E inteni angelos.
Okay.
All right. Next one.
Okay. Nem ni hiomi.
Hmm?
And the
Mm-hmm.
the definitions I'm not as good with.
What's the?
The is ni. The plural.
Sorry. Yes, plural. Yes. Hiomi is the plural of himi. So when we say Saint Mary, blessed are you among the women, we say cheni hiomi. So hiomi is the plural of himi.
Women or of
Yes.
Okay,
Of
gotcha.
himi that we have in number 7. So
Would that be considered an irregular plural?
yes, and it has an interesting history how Ishimi and Hiomi became each other. The S actually comes from a human because eventually the word for man and woman became the same when it evolved from hieroglyphs. So they had to add a woman wife to mean woman or a human wife. But yes, it's one of the irregular, the ones that we have, and it's common in the irregular way. So it's common to say Hiomi than multiple Ishimi. Hiomi also means wives. Similar to the same way we do in Arabic, we just say my woman literally just means my wife. All right. Can you do one more?
Yeah, sure. He ip noob.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be on the gold.
Mm-hmm.
And then masculine, singular.
Yes. Yes, on the gold. Apanub, or we say Apanub. Apanub means the father of gold. And also when we sing the hymn Pie Clome, crowns of gold. Okay, let's do one more.
Sure. If Romi nem ti is himi, that's the man and the woman.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't know if that's singular masculine, right? If is singular masculine.
So like we did here, sorry, it's loading too slow. Yes, we have P is when you want to emphasize something like the father, you say P yot. If you want to do what's called a weak article, just say epiot or efiot, but before some very specific sounds, which are the vilm nur. Before any of these together, the P becomes an F, or what we call as an F, but like how David says it, it's an aspirated P, just because of the quality of the sound that comes after. So they realize when you put a P followed by an L, it just or an R, it just becomes an aspirated P. And like we mentioned, Copts were very specific in how they pronounce, in writing down how they pronounce things. So if they realize they put a letter and they actually make it aspirated, like rather than a P, you say P, they would write this down, and there's a letter for it. So that's why we have the ep and the f interchangeable because of the sounds that come after them. And you will get used to them most of the time. You know how you do it in French. The genders, like when do I know it's masculine or feminine? Over time, just know them. You can't say epiot, you just say efiot. And even if you do it, it's not plural, it's fine.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. I think you did 4, right?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Next we have Myrna. Do you want to take the last 4?
Hi, Mark.
Myrna.
Yeah, sure.
Go for it.
Okay. So number 14 is Niromi, Nimni Hayomi.
Mhm.
And I have no idea what it means.
Okay, so we said P, masculine, T, feminine, Ni is the definite articles for plural. So in French we say le, la, le. In Coptic we have P, T, Ni. Masculine is always presented by a P sound. Feminine is always by T sound, and then plural is always by an N sound. So when you say Ni, it's exactly try to translate it the same way we see it on the sentence 13, but make it all in plural. Do you want to try again?
You can try and I can do
Okay,
it.
so we said ni is like le, so the, but plural. Men, plural. Nem is and. Can you try the last one? Can you guess it?
Like, it's different than number 13 is himi, so it's not a woman.
It's not one woman. It's
Oh, like, what?
the women.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, did you guys go over this earlier?
Last week, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe that's
Don't
why.
worry, you can always catch up. The lessons are recorded online, and earlier I can share them again at the end, where we have everything already saved. All right, do you want to try the next one? Just reading, if you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it and you translate. Okay, so
Okay.
15 is Bigom Nim Bikosh.
Perfect. Can you guess P?
Can you go up a little bit?
Sure. Yes.
Let's see. So if he is like the house, so P, is it like the like
Yes,
the
it's the.
okay.
Okay.
Then
Job is
almost the
book.
book,
Yes, it's book. Good job.
the book and
And
what's called
Kosh is pen.
and
Or
the
pen.
book and pen.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. One more.
Yes, Hijani White.
Mm-hmm.
What's Hijan?
Gen is on top of. So we quickly mentioned that Gen is a very ancient word that means head. E means on. So it's like on top of. So Hijan is on top.
Okay, on top of the road. Is it like the first one?
Not the road.
Oh, right. So Ni is
Yes, it's yes, lay, and then the, and then roads.
roads, right?
Try the last one.
Okay, Hijani He.
Mm-hmm.
So on top of
Mm-hmm.
the something. Let's see.
Is it-
Home.
Yes, but what's ni?
Like the, I don't know.
Ni, we just mentioned it on just earlier. What's ni? Indicates what's plural or singular?
Is it plural?
Yes, yes. And then you rightly said houses. An easy way that I like for Hijan is just upon, just because he is on, and then the head is up. So it works out for English very well to say upon. In case you're wondering the difference between he and Hijan, one is on, one is like on top of or upon. Just makes it easier to translate.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. That was great. Let's do a little bit more. We have Sheriff. Do you want? Am I pronouncing your name right, Sheriff?
Yeah, Sharif, you can do that. Do Sharif. I've heard it all.
Okay. Okay, Sharif. Go ahead.
I'll try. Khen ti
Mm-hmm.
ek ekasia.
Remove the jenkem. It's wrong. Greek doesn't take jenkem. So read it again.
Khen ti ekasia. Sorry. Ekasia.
Perfect. Chen ti ecclesia or ecclesia.
Okay.
Can you guess what it means?
No clue.
Okay, so chen, we mentioned, literally means in the belly of. Originally, that's what it means, but just not. It means in. Just means in. So
Okay.
then, can you guess what T means?
It's feminine, but I have no clue what it means.
If it's feminine, it's only singular, because plural is all the same. So, and we're studying the articles, so it's always, so we're talking, that's the feminine definite articles. Good job. Okay, can you guess ecclesia or ecclesia?
The church?
Yes, good job. Look at you.
Okay.
All right, give me one more.
Chenevron.
I'll stop you here. You said Evron, like a V. It's not a V.
Efron.
Perfect.
We just pronounce it. I think we're so used to pronouncing it the wrong way.
Yes. So guess what it means? What's F or F?
In the
Okay. The, is it masculine or feminine? Or plural?
F is masculine.
Yes. Okay. And Ron, you can
In
guess.
the name.
Perfect. Look at you, killing it. All right, next one will be challenging. Go ahead.
I have to remember this letter. F,
Mm-hmm.
Iot,
Mm-hmm.
Nem,
Mm-hmm.
Ep,
Mm-hmm.
Shiri.
Perfect. Can you guess what it means?
And the whole and the Holy Spirit, or in one God, amen. I can't
No.
remember.
Too early. It's like Chen Fran, Em Fiot, Nem Shiri. So it's still very early. We said in the name. What's next?
Oh, of the Father and the Son.
Not of, just take it easy. What's F?
In
Mm-hmm.
or and. I can't remember.
No. F is, what's F? We just mentioned F before. What's F? It's the same F.
The
Yes. The. Okay. Yot.
Father.
Yes. Okay, keep going. What's Nem?
And so
Mhm.
Nem is and.
Mm-hmm.
The Son.
Perfect. Amazing. Okay, I'm gonna skip number 4 because it's Greek. Just do 5.
Chen
Mm-hmm.
Ebnevma.
So actually, let me also skip this one. This is just not right. It's misspelled, so we're just gonna skip it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, it should be Peep. Okay. Oh, that's a better pronunciation. Okay. I think this is all yours. Try number 6.
Okay. Let's try this. Efiot, Nem, Ebshiri, Nem,
Mm-hmm.
Ebnevma.
Wrong.
F-
That's
S.
you went from memory. Read it.
Okay, I'll try again. So, Efiot,
Perfect.
Nem,
Mm-hmm.
Pshiri,
Yes.
Nem,
Huh?
P,
Uh-huh.
Pnevma. And
Perfect.
then S, and then the rest, I think.
Just ignore
That's
the last
right.
one.
Yeah.
Remember, for those who are doing a more academic pronunciation, it'd be pneuma, not pneuma. And we explained that V comes from the Greco-Bohairic pronunciation, which is based on 200 years ago, based on modern Greek, which is what the church uses. So if you're doing it for the church reading, just stick to it. For more academic or for more like what would relate more to what ancient Coptic would sound like, this was very most likely a W. And we will see this very clearly once again in the grammar. It's interchangeable with the W sound at all times. So if you want to go for pneuma, if you want to go for pneuma, up to you. Should not matter in the grammar, but if you say in a W, the grammar start making more sense because you can interchange the sound where it makes sense. Actually, like this, the word ithwab, like the wab, and let's say what else? Tuvo. We'll get to it. Don't worry. Okay, go ahead. Translate it. What's F? We said what's F?
N?
No.
N?
That's
Oh, true. The?
yes. Mm-hmm.
And then Iot have no.
Yot.
Iot is.
It's the one
Father.
you mentioned just before. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then Nem is and.
Mm-hmm. What's Ep?
The.
Mm-hmm.
Shiri is son.
Mm-hmm.
And for Nem.
Mm-hmm.
And then P is the.
Mm-hmm.
And pneuma is Holy Spirit.
Just spirit.
It's just Spirit. Okay.
Just spirit. Ithwab is that which is holy, which is Al-Muqaddas or just Holy Spirit.
Okay.
All right. let's move to the next one. We have an unknown person. You've been here for the past 2 weeks, so all right. Remains unknown. Philo.
Yes.
Do you want to try 7? From 7 to 10.
It's Ⲩ p
Mhm.
a foot.
It's not a foot. It's the letter alpha.
Yes, a foot. Right?
It's not a foot. It's not ABC. It's alpha, beta. So what would it be?
So how is it pronounced?
It's A, because it's alpha.
So Ⲩ p a foot.
Perfect. Yes, MP a foot. Perfect. Do you want to try translating?
Yes, Ⲩ means in,
Mm-hmm.
p means the,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not really sure what's a foot.
A foot is cup. So
Okay.
when Abuna during the liturgy, when he blesses the cup, he say pi a foot phi. So he mentioned in this cup. Cup is a foot.
Okay.
All right. Let's do 3 more. But starting 8. Remember, we are doing full sentences. Quick reminder in case people forgot. In nominal sentence in Coptic, in Afro-Asiatic languages, so anything that's not Indo-European, there is no concept of verb to be. Example: if you speak Arabic, if you want to say the laptop is on the table, you just say the laptop on the table. So you say el laptop على الترابيزة. There's no verb to be. Similarly for Coptic, if you want to say I am at home, you say I in home or in the house. There's no concept of verb to be. It's called nominal sense, just have full-on names. So starting 8, let's translate with full sentences. Actually, before we get to it, does anyone have any question about articles, definite articles?
What is it? Are we going to try and get into the difference between strong and weak articles? And if so, do you have an explanation for them? Or is that going to be later?
A little bit too early here, but let me quickly give you a reason why you have the difference between P, Ep, and F. So we said the difference between Ep and F is just what comes after. So you say they have the word Romi. You don't say Epromi, you say Efromi or Epromi, which is an aspirated P. Easy for most people, just say Efromi. But just know that the face sound is a PH. So it's a P, it's originally a P. So F and Ep, they're the same, just what comes after. The difference between P and Ep, we're gonna go over it much later. But for the time being, just know it's called the weak sound. Called the weak article, but it's not really weak. P has a little bit more of a nuance for an emphasis. So if you want to say Piyot, that means the father. It's the one we're talking about. If you say Efyot, it's the father. If you want to say I saw the man, you would say Piromi. It's like I saw the man. If you say I saw an Ifromi, it's like I saw the man. It's like basically similar to the English saying the instead of the. That's the sort of a nuance that comes with it.
Yeah, I just asked because I have a sort of slightly different understanding when I talked to
Go for it. Just go for it. Yeah, go ahead.
Dr. Christian Casey. Do you want me to quickly give my explanation?
Yes. Go ahead. Yes.
So,
I like Christian Casey. I'll trust him.
So from what I've been able to understand through the message I had through him is that it's more sort of you use the weak article for a particular thing in which your reader or listener would know. So in the sort of case of saying penalty, right? A particular God in which we know, so referring to God, big G, or a more probably English example that would be recognizable is if I were to say the Queen. Pretty much everybody knows who I'm talking about with the Queen. Even as an American, I'm usually referring to the English monarch. I don't have to define it. Or if I can say evolution, I don't have to clarify it. Where you pretty much use P or T, or need has different roles in pretty much all those situations. That's how I understood it. So I was curious on.
I've heard this pronunciation before, this explanation before as well. It does make a lot of sense. It will fall short in some examples when I remember when I'm reading it. But yes, it's generally true. So if you want to say F yod, not P yod, if I say P yod, I mean the father. There's someone specific that we're talking about. If you say
It's
F yod,
more
it's the father.
definite.
It's just like, the God the Father. We all know it. That's yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions about articles? All right. Let's move on to nominal sentences. Philo, do you want to take the next three? So
Okay,
read
sure.
it and give me the full sentence in English.
Okay. So first it's in number 8. Eponi,
Mm-hmm.
Hijen,
Mm-hmm.
Smoit,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess means the rock is
Mm-hmm.
on top of the road.
Yes. It's perfect. I don't know why nothing got written. The rock is, yes,
On
upon
top.
the road.
Yeah.
Yes. Just one thing. Don't say iponi. There's no reason you should make a stop except for the letter for a. It's iponi, just like connect them. There's usually when you read it, there's usually not a dash. It's just for you to know the difference now. But just saying iponi should be good enough. This does not apply to a specifically. That means house. We have very clear evidence that there was an sound preceding the eta, so it becomes a. But that's more of an exception. Just like the sound ceased being spoken in English, in Coptic. But we have evidence that it's there. We just don't do it. But for everything, I just say eponi. Joseph, go ahead.
Yeah, so I kind of noticed like in hymns and just in general pronunciation, when there's like a jenkem, usually or like often people say like a sound before it or like they kind of stop. Is there any like, does the jenkem have this function or?
Yes. So Jinkim is abused in Bohairic. If you get any manuscript, close to no Jenkims. Even the ep and the f, Jenkim is meant to be a weak, what's called a schwa sound. It's like when you say bottle, the T and the L has a sound in between. It's called like the bottle. It's meant to not exist. Only if you really need to put it. But it's been over abused in Bohairic. And my guess for this is because of the Arabic speakers were able to read it the same way they would. Coptic just became different in Arabic. So an example that we see is sarix. In Arabic can't have two consonants in the same syllable behind each other. So you can't say something like thronos. In Arabic you can't. It's not something in Arabic that you say something like thronos. So people start adding jinkims left and right just to make the pronunciation easier, but it was never there, and mainly because of the Arabic influence, like we mentioned last week. So ethronos is basically thronos, because in English it's the word throne. There's no ethrone, it's just throne. But the Arabic speaker is unable to say throne, so they put the ethronos, and then you end up with pekethronos. But if anything, it's just pekthronos. Jenkim has been used everywhere for no reason. A word so that's for when it comes on consonant. You also don't have it in any Greek words, like we saw in the previous example. We put it over t ekekliseia. Again, unable to say ekliseia, so they just put Jenkim everywhere. Jenkim does not go on Greek words whatsoever. It doesn't often go on Coptic words except in sounds like F or ep, and when we study N or M when they meant to be a transition. But they typically don't exist on regular words. Just when it comes on consonant. What happens with vowels is that it start adding a stop, which should not exist as well. So a word like aripa mevi, a lot of people say aripa mevi, just because there's a jenkim that goes on top of the e. This jenkim does not exist. It's just mevi or mewi. And we know this for a fact because it's the same word exists in Sahidic, and where the iota always becomes an a sound. The a just exists normally. Like it's the same as romi becomes rome, mewi become mewe, just a. So when you see jenkim, be very doubtful when you see it. There's a very high chance it does not belong here. Places where it can belong is like when you say F or ep, and that's meant just to keep the pronunciation going. not very common to see in manuscripts as well. But it's there. It's been there for a while, so we're okay with it, and we're gonna do with N or M. But it's typically Jenkims are typically should not exist. Sorry, it's a rant, but it's something that really bothers me. A lot of the stops that happen when people start a vowel, so let's say u oini, you don't need any of this. It's just oini. Like it's simple. A lot of this happened because of the u. Had to be forced as an U rather than a W when the Greco-Bohairic, so it forced some letter to act this way. So something like ithwab does not make grammatical sense. It has to be ithwab for the eth to replace the T. So it should be actually et, like, at something. We'll get to it later. But then because of the W, it has to be an eth, like a th, ithwab. So the ithwab can only be a W for the eth, for the theta to actually exist. Otherwise, you should put a T. So yeah, when you see pauses, there are usually not pauses. There shouldn't be. We know of A because the way it came to us in Sahidic became as N yes, NA. And Sahidic has a different way of saying the ni. It has ne and N and just an N. N follows a vowel, ne follows two consonants, but we saw A coming with a jinkim over the N, which only comes before single vowels. So it's telling us there is a vowel before the A, which can only be the glottal stop. So it has to be ep, A. So that's an exception. But typically, you just flow. It's epony. If anything, pony is also good, but epony is fine, but pony is more than enough if you want to. But if you say epony, that also works. Again, when we speak Coptic, sometimes it feels like little pieces put together, not as a flowing language. But once you learn it, it should just flow. You say pony Genif moit, if Genif moit. Is that good?
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. All right, we still had Philo. Question 9.
Yeah. Fromi hijen ipi.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Translation. Yes, perfect.
As a man is on top of the house.
Perfect. I just use upon for shorthand writing just because it's easier to write.
Okay.
But on top of is fine. Again, hijan is on the head of, or basically on top of, so it's perfect. All right, let's do one more.
Ipi hijen ipto.
Ipto, perfect.
It means the house is on top of the mountain.
Yes. Perfect. All right, we have 3 more. Let's distribute them between the remaining people, just one each for as many as we can. David, do you want to go?
Yep, I can do number 11. Nidromi hijen beto.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the men are on top of the mountain.
The what?
On top of
Sorry,
top.
it's the what?
The mountain?
No, the first one, sorry, my bad.
The first word? The men.
The men, okay.
Sorry.
The men, what?
The men are on top of the mountain. And I should say pe is masculine and ni is plural.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. Next one is Fedi. Fedi, do you want to give it a shot? Or you want to skip this week?
I think I need to go back and review the first lesson and
Okay,
to be
no
able
worries.
to
No problem.
Yeah.
Joseph, do you want to?
Tiashimi Namtiromi.
Mm-hmm. What? Okay, that's wrong, but keep
Yeah,
going.
because Ishimi would be plural, right?
No, that's Hiomi.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So
go.
sorry. So the woman singular feminine and the man singular masculine.
Yes.
T. Yeah. So the T is wrong.
So what should it be?
P Romi or F Romi.
Okay, F Romi, perfect. Or P Romi, yes, you got it. Do you want to try give me the full sentence again?
In English?
Yes.
So the woman and the man?
No. So you've been seeing in Coptic, if you want to say, do you speak Arabic?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So nem means with or
Oh,
and. So if you say we let's say we sing with the cherubim, we sing nem ni cherubim. So with means basic nem means add two things together. So it means and or with, just something coming together. So if I want to say I am with, so the woman with the man, in Arabic you say الست مع الرجل, and that's a full sentence. In English, it needs the verb to be. Afro-Asiatic languages like Arabic or Coptic do not need verb to be. You just mention the facts. So can you try again?
So the woman with the man?
Yes, but it can be a full sentence on its own.
Or sorry, yeah. So the woman is with the man.
Yes, yes. This is how you would do a full sentence, a normal sentence in Coptic, is with the man, and this is wrong. This should be P. Perfect. Next one is Sharif. Do you want to try?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Let's see. So let's do ni.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep going. Yes.
Jom.
It's long. So
Jom.
yes.
Chen.
Mm-hmm.
Epi.
We said A is or E is a unique word that has an sound before the E. Just
Okay. Epi.
Ep-E.
Okay.
So can you try to translate?
So it's a short E, not a long one.
It's a short P. It's a long E, so Ep-E.
Okay, gotcha.
And maybe if it makes sense to you, do it first in Arabic in your head, then do it in English. It will make way more sense.
Okay. So ni, jom, chen, ep-E.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Translate.
The jom is head or
No. Books.
the books. In the dang. Don't know the last word.
House.
Okay, the book's in the house. Okay.
Yes. So give me the full sentence.
The book's in the house.
No. Do it in your head. Do it in Arabic.
Same thing, though.
No. Try in Arabic.
To do what?
Like translate the sentence in Arabic.
Oh. الكتب اللي في البيت.
You added illi. There is no illi.
الكتب في البيت.
Perfect. Now do it in English from Arabic.
The books in house. In
It's
the house.
It's are in the house.
Oh, are true.
Yes. So again, in Coptic, there's no concept of verb to be. You just say the books in the house. الكتب في البيت. The books are in the house in English.
Okay.
All right. We are done with lesson 1. Homework 1. Does anyone have any questions before we move on?
I guess maybe because I missed the last week. I was just wondering, like, how do you guys know what the words mean in English? I mean, I can like,
yes,
is that
it's
like a
right here? It's in the book. So when you say the book, you will see that after you finish the lesson, the very first, the top is. Let me get the top. The top is it's vocab.
Oh, okay. All right. I was like, everyone here knows Coptic, and I'm like, what's going on?
No, everything is in the book. Everything is in the book.
Okay, sure.
All right. Any more questions?
No, thank you.
Sweet. Okay, let's move on to today's lesson. Again, the way it works, just a reminder, we are going through the lesson very quickly. in the book, but we're following the original book Lambden's structure of breaking down the lessons, which is a little bit better. We're gonna go through this very quickly. We briefly gonna try and do the lesson once. So you've seen them, you've at least seen them once. Then on your own, you go home and read the lessons, memorize the vocab, and do the homework, which we come and discuss. And like you saw, we spend our sweet time on it. So the homework is where we do our bulk of the learning, but we quickly introduce it here just so you've seen them at least once. Okay, let's start with lesson 1. The first thing we have is the definite, indefinite with the definite articles. Now we're going to do the indefinite articles. A little bit different. There's no masculine or singular, masculine, feminine. What we have here is singular and plural. We have u and han. U comes from, if you know any Coptic, remember uwai, snav, shamt. Uwai means one. Just a drive to u. Similar to how we say it in French, we say un, deux, trois, but it's also like un cahier. The one becomes the indefinite articles. Also in Latin, unos is one, become uno in Spanish for article. All right, bro. Have fun. See you, Philo. What else? And then han, it means from the word hoini, which does exist in still some Sahelic still uses hoini for some, and han is derived from it. Let's see some examples. So we say an examples like ujoy, a ship, uromi, aman, umoit, a road, and then if you want to make them plural is hanejo. That means some. So you can actually just include here some. Sometimes they're written just for clarification to say they're here, but you don't have to translate them in English, and even in Arabic you don't translate the han, but in Coptic you have it. Han romi is some men. Han moit is some roads or just roads. Any questions about the indefinite articles? Okay, awesome. The next one thing to mention, sometimes we mention some things that we mention both actually, especially in English, there's like I eat bread. It just means like undefined, unspecified amount. In Coptic, you still put the definite or indefinite articles. The use of no articles is very limited. So you typically would have it anywhere. If you say I drink water, you say I drank a water. All right, that's for indefinite articles. We also saw how we can make nouns, like we say pikash chen ip. So the pen is in the house. That's for all definite articles you saw, like pikash at the very beginning. The next part is how would you do a sentence with an indefinite articles. You in Coptic and probably even in Arabic and probably in English, you would not start a sentence with just an indefinite article. You don't say a man is on the road. You can, but it's like, what are you talking? Like a man is on the road. You can say I saw a man that is on the road, but a man is on the road. You don't do this. But usually you would say something like there is a man on the road. Also in Arabic you say راجل في الشارع. That just sounds incomplete, but you can say في راجل في الشارع. So you always introduce who this man is, giving some context, and you talk what the man is about. So in Coptic we have one, which is for people who know hymns, it's the one that says u on, but for the sake of proper grammar, just say one, and m1. M1 just means no. So one means there is or fi, and m1 means no. Actually, m1 literally means no, and it actually works as no. So you say no man is on the road. It's m1 romi on the road. We're gonna see some examples. So, just what is this for? Before you start a sentence with an indefinite article, you have to put one or m1. Let's see some examples. The examples say you want to say a man is in the house. You say one uromi khinip a. So you always start with one. So there is a man in the house, or fi ragel fil bit. You don't say ragel fil bit. That just sounds incomplete. Similarly, for feminine, just say one wasimi. He moit, there is a woman on the road, or fi ست في الشارع. That's it for one. M1 is the other way around. It's basically just M1 just means no, and it actually works in the same way you would do an English no. So you say no man is in the house. So you say, and when you do M1, you don't use an article after, because it's not like there is no amen or there is no men plural. You just say no men. So the example here is Emmon khello hif moit. It means no monk or no elder. Khello means monk or elder. No khello is on the road. Or in the next one here you say Emmon romi kheneped. No man is in the house. So you can just no man is in the house, or in Arabic it would be ما فيش راجل على الطريق أو ما فيش elder في الشارع. That's for M1 and Khello. Any question about this? Okay, awesome. We're going to be studying anyway. The next part is the negation. How would you make a sentence into just a negated sentence? We saw how would you do it for indefinite. So there's a man on the road. No man is on the road. That's it. That's it for indefinite. That's for indefinite. For definite, just add on. You just say, so if you have the example here, if Romi khenep a means the man is in the house, you just say on at the end. So it's like just no. So the man is not in the house. Or if you want to do it a little bit weird, it'll be like the man in the house not. You just add on at the end. So if Romi khenep a on. That's it. Just add on, and on gives you the meaning for negation. Any question about this? Okay, negation, just add an on. For definite, you're good. For indefinite, the one becomes M1. So one means there is, just there is something. And sometimes we say on ohel peace, we have what's it called? We have hope in you. We just say one. And if there's no, it's a no, just say no. M1, just a no. So no hope for us. The next part is something you will hear all the time when you read any text or hymns, is the possessive or genitive. This means the of in English. There are two ways to say of. So let's say the house of the man. So you say I want to say of Ifromi. The house of the man. There's two ways. There is an and inte. The difference between them, you don't have to worry about the meaning between them. Just know that if you say a, we're gonna fix it a little bit. And inte, let's say you do inte. Ifromi means the house of the man. The difference between them is also a little bit of a nuance. And if you say n, it just means that which is of. It just belongs to. So the house that belongs to the man. It's that this house belongs to the man. When you say inte, it keeps it a little bit of a disconnect, which saying the house which happens to belong to the man, but it's not an intrinsic feature of the noun. When you say inte, you kind of create a separation between them. Like, it just happens to be of this guy. So you say Ibjom Khen Ibkhillo, it's just the book that happened to belong to the elder. But if you say Khen Fran Imfiot, it's the name of the father. The name belongs to the father. But if you say Khen Fran Inte Ifiot, it's the name which happened to belong to the father. So in is a little bit stronger in creating the relationship. There is an explanation here that tells you if you see to an indefinite article, it always uses inte. That's more of a correlation, not a causation. So if you have, let's say, a book of a man, then if you know the book, and the man is indefinite, you probably don't know the man, right? Like a book of a man. So there's no strong connection between them. So you happen to use inte. So you say ujom inte uromi. But if you want to say pijom inte emefromi, it's just like, the book is basically the man's. One nice thing to add about Coptic is N is very common. It used everywhere and becomes an M on too many occasions. For English speakers, the same way you would say, let's say, indefinite, indefinite, but you don't say impossible, you say impossible. So the M becomes an M just naturally because of how we speak when it's followed by any sound that has like a B shape or an M shape. So any is like B, P, F, So we say M fiot. So the M fiot, M. Not N fiot. Like you even find that a little bit weird, like N fiot. It just doesn't work, but M fiot works. For Arabic speakers, if you say, how would you read this? You say anba, but you actually pronounce it as amba with an M. The N naturally becomes a B. Another word is this. Anbuba. No one says anbuba, it's ambuba. The N naturally becomes an M when it's preceded by any sound that has the B. So B, P, PH, NM naturally becomes an M. So impossible. If you think of any word that's like in or M in English and it starts with a B or a P or an M, it always becomes an impossible. So you say immaterial. You don't say immaterial. You say immaterial. Impossible. Similarly, the N becomes an M, which is a good reason, a good show that probably if you say chenfron, it's probably chemfron, not chem efron. If you say the efron, might as well just put an N. But because they're too related, probably emfron makes more sense. So the M follows the P. The M, it's M because it's followed by a PH. This is important because you're going to see it everywhere, and it's very popular. It's very common, so you're going to see it. But for the sake of the lesson, just remember that in te and n are both ways that are used to express of. Don't worry about the meaning right now. For all you're doing now, just translating. When you see them, translate in the same way. But you just know the nuance that one of them is specifically attributing one thing to another. The other one, it just happens to belong to each other. Oh yeah, the explanation is right here. They come from letters. I think number 4 is wrong. I think it's anything that comes from the lips, like b. It's like you have to through the lips. You have to put an M before it. That's the list of, and that's it. Then you have a vocab, and then you have the homework. This book has tons of homework. It's just too long. The vocab is important, so do all the vocab. For the homework, I suggest you just do the very first part from page 128 and 29. Just do the first part. That's it. That's more than enough. The next page is, again, do the very first part. Just the first part. That's all we're going to do next week because it gets too long, and I don't know why this book is just super long. And this one, do these 2 sections. They're a little bit different, so we just want to make sure we cover as many as we can. That's it, and this ends chapter 4 on your book and class 2 here. Do you have any question about anything?
What pages is the homework? Is it the PDF page or is it the page at the bottom of the
PDF? In my PDF it ends at 131, and then the book is 116.
Okay, so it's one. Okay.
If you're using the PDF, just 131 is your end, and then if you can just, I will upload the video today, so you can just go ahead and check it.
Sure.
And just do it again.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
All right. Any more questions? Okay, I will stop the recording. So in case you want to ask me anything off the record, you can. So 1 hour and 3